Hi there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So exciting, today we are starting with a brand new series. This one's Fishing North Atlantic, and it's been out for a few years now. I believe this game was released in 2020, but this will be our first look at it and I'm very excited. So let's get started immediately. So our character name, Bob Jackson, I'm definitely going to change that to Captain. Let's do something funny, obvious. Captain Obvious. Okay, gender is male. Tutorial, we'll definitely start with a tutorial. And we'll go with easy mode for this one. Let's begin. Welcome to Nova Scotia. You begin your career with a fast lobster boat that you've inherited from your rich aunt. With such humble beginnings, it'll be a long road to becoming one of the legendary mariners of the North Atlantic. Lobsters are best caught from November to May. All fish species in the game can only be finished within its season, or fished within its season rather. Please check the game wiki to learn about their seasons. But let's not get distracted with dreams of fortune and glory. Let's start with the basics. Here we go. Okay, so we're in third person mode here, or view here, and I must say that this game actually looks fantastic. We've got a couple of wind turbines back there. I'm very excited to get started with this. So let's see, increase the throttle with W, decrease with S. Move the outboard motor to the left and to the right. That's easy enough. Let's go into first person mode here. Press F to stop driving and move around the deck. Okay, moving is pretty basic. Take control of the steering wheel using E. And then you can also drive from inside. Okay, that's pretty basic stuff right there. Tutorial, this map interface, you can open this by pressing M. Using the buttons below, you can set custom waypoints to plot a route, or you can select locations that you've previously visited and then fast travel to these locations. So I have played this game, to be honest with you, for about 5 hours after I downloaded, just to familiarize myself a bit more. But I think going through the tutorial with you guys in this first video won't be too bad of a problem. So let's see, you can either drive to the marked area yourself, or if you want, you can plot a route and fast travel there automatically. An irregular habitat has been spotted and a marker has been set. Head over there for your first haul. Okay, let's do that. So that's right over here, and I'm going to select that area. So there you can add a waypoint, and then to fast travel you click on this button. So let's go ahead and fast travel there right now. And then you can either hit escape to exit, or you can hit the M button again. So there is our waypoint. We've got a few birds overhead. That usually shows where fish is present as well. So don't forget to look at the birds. They will actually help you in this process. Process frozen bait block. Now that you've reached the marked area, it's time to process your frozen bait block for the pot. So with this tutorial and the method of starting, we selected easy, and you start with a lobster boat. I believe if you select hard or any of the other ones, you will start with a different boat and fishing type, but we are on to lobster for this first episode. So let's head out and check. Grab one of your stored pots and place them on the sorting table. So that's our sorting table right there. Take one of your bait bags and bait the pot. That'll be in the freezer. Grab a bait bag there and bait our lobster pot right there. So once that is done, you can set your pot in the ocean, and there we go. Finished set pot. Now that you've set your first lobster pot, you need to wait a minimum of 18 hours before you can pick it up again. For the purpose of this tutorial, the time is now skipped forward by 20 hours. Okay. The best time to haul in pots is between 18 and 24 hours. You can see this by looking at the outline color of the buoy and the map. When the color is blue, that's the best time to pick up the pot. More details can be found in the wiki. Okay, so if we go back to the third person, which they are requesting us to do, and we can just set our boat up in that area right there, and then we can haul in that pot. Must say, this takes some getting used to. Getting it just right can be tricky sometimes, especially with the waves coming into play. So let's do this. Just want to swing my nose to the right. I believe that'll be port side, and then we'll back onto that buoy. Right, there we go. Then we can grab the pot from the line and place it on the sorting table once it's been reeled in. And that is your controlling mechanism over there. Guys, I do hope the audio isn't too bad. I can hear this boat is actually quite loud on my desktop audio, and the birds as well. So hopefully you can hear me just fine. I'll definitely adjust if I need to. So it's saying to take one of these sorting crates and place it on the table. Open the crate by pressing R, and then we will open our lobster pot. Sorting lobster. Take one lobster and use the measurement tool to measure the lobsters. The upper body of the lobster has to not fit between the 2 points of the measuring tool. From the eye to where the tail starts will be 3 inches. Sorting lobster. As the lobster is legal size, select the band box to attach elastic bands on the claws and place it into the plastic crate. A new crate would be needed for hauling a new pot. For more detail, check the wiki again. So let's grab our first lobster, and so basically from the eyes to where the tails start may not be allowed to be smaller than your measuring tool. So that one looks pretty good to me as well. That's decent. Put some bands on it and then add it to the crate, then on to the next one. Now this one looks fine. So there you can see both eyes. I know that it's tricky with the light. You can see both eyes of the lobster there. So that one is too small, and we'll return it to the ocean, and let's go through the rest of them. Catching a bunch of small ones here, and I don't want to get fined. That one's definitely too small. Once again, I can see both the eyes, so don't want to put that into storage. And now we can store this blue crate in the floor. That'll be right there. Deliver lobsters at port. Head to the marked port where you'll be able to sell the lobsters you just caught and stored. A mission waypoint has been set on your map. Okay, you can either drive to the port yourself, or if you want, you can also fast travel there automatically. Okay, so let's open up our map. Maybe we should just close the freezer door before that. Let's open up our map and see where that port is located. So it's quite a distance. It's undiscovered, so unfortunately we won't be able to fast travel there. Not by clicking on it itself. So usually when you click on the port, it gives you an option to fast travel, but we will be able to fast travel by setting waypoints, I believe. So we'll set a waypoint there, and then right over there, and let's zoom in to go through these channels. And up to the port right there. Now you will be able to fast travel this route, and there we go. And the nice thing about this game, you can also get an autopilot for your boat, which we will do. You do that by upgrading it at the dock. We don't have that yet, so once we have that going, we can do a bit of driving ourselves later. And there's the green area where we can dock. Yarmouth discovered. Okay, so now this port has been added to our list of discovered locations, and that'll make it a lot easier to travel there in future. So let's go ahead and dock. Go to the bar in town to get tips on the best spots for fishing. Would you like to sell your catch at Yarmouth? Yes, we would. You have successfully docked at the port. You can sell your catch by pressing the sell catch button. Okay, so our income from this one pot of lobster is about $1,500. Not too bad. We'll go ahead and sell that. Congratulations, you've successfully sold your catch. This is the end of the tutorial. Okay, that seems good to me as well. So the first thing that we want to do is, let's see if we can get some upgrades for our lobster boat here. And I think the first thing that I want to do is add this autopilot, which is $3,000 to the cart there. And let's see, a fish sonar, we definitely need to upgrade that as well. I'm going to take the biggest one, and that'll allow us to have a 1,000 meters or 1 kilometer range on our fish sonar. So we are at $11,000 at the moment, and we have 37 in the bank, so it's not too bad. Let's see what else we might need. The buoys, I like to use these ones because at night it's easier to see than the standard buoy. It comes with a flag and with a light. We'll add that to the basket as well. Our searchlight, we're going to try to keep this during daylight hours as much as possible, so I'm not going to be upgrading the searchlight just now. Our radar, we definitely want to upgrade. It increases the range for discovering hidden locations and boats, so that's important. We want to discover a bunch of boats that we can then later buy, or new ports and so forth to fast travel to, so we'll add that to the basket as well. And let's see what else. Let's see how much it costs to upgrade an engine, because that will definitely be important too. Otherwise we'll go at a snail's pace, but it is too expensive at this stage, so we'll get to that later. And then our storage, we can also upgrade that later on. The basket's not empty. Sorry, I almost went out of the cart here, so let's check out. Now all of those things have been added to our boat. And let's see if we go to maintenance. This is where you can buy fuel. So we'll purchase, fill up the fuel tank again. And if you have any repairs, like you see, we don't even have 1% of damage. Your boat will get some damage over time. So this is where you can fix it. Let's pay that 27 cents for that repair. And then if we go to the fish market and into fishing gear, we can buy some more pots right over here. So buying wooden lobster pots, you currently have 2 out of a maximum of 12 small pots, which can fit onto your Yankee. So I actually want to go for the steel pots. They just look better to me. So let's sell the wooden pots we have, and then we go ahead and buy ourselves some steel pots. And we've got 12,000. That'll actually max out our budget here. So let's go with 6 for now. And buy bait. I also want to fill up our bait storage. That's not too expensive. Let's go ahead and buy that. And I think with the remaining funds, we're not going to be needing to buy anything else now. So with the remaining funds, I'm going to buy the rest of these steel pots that'll fit onto our boat. Okay, and then looking at the time, it's about 5 in the afternoon, so it's going to be getting dark quite soon. And being at the dock here will also allow you to skip time. So what we want to do is maybe skip time till about 9 a.m. in the morning. So that's 17 hours that we're going to be skipping. And now it is 9 a.m. the next morning. Snow is coming down. We do have some precipitation, but at least the sun is currently rising. Last thing we need to do at the dock is just to head to our, let's dismiss all of this, and then we head to the bar, and we can see some tips here. Get the location of lobsters from today. We definitely want that. And then if we head back into our map, right there we'll be able to see if there's any lobster locations. It's supposed to be added to our map. Oh, it's all the way to the other side of the map, so that's also quite a distance to drive, but that's where we need to be, because that's where lobsters were sighted. And I believe that this arrow is showing you the migration of the lobsters, the route that they are going to be migrating. So seeing that this sighting was 5 hours ago, that means they are probably still around here. First thing we need to do is start traveling out to that direction. Let's go ahead and set up our path here. And I think what we will be doing is using autopilot while moving out of that port area. So just so that I can show you guys how good it actually works. So if you want to use the autopilot, there's two ways of going about this. The first way and the easiest way will be to go on to your map, set autopilot on, and this is where you set your speed. So we are going to max out the speed of our boat here, and that means that autopilot will then go as fast as possible. Now if we return to the game screen, you'll see that it is following the autopilot path right there. Alright, here we go. So as you see, the sun is rising there. Here's all our newly acquired lobster pots. And we are exiting the port. I must say that I'm pleased with the visuals. I just want to step back from that engine noise, so I'm afraid you guys won't be able to hear me. But I must say I'm fairly impressed with the visuals. It actually looks pretty good. So if you enjoy these type of simulator games, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Maybe give this video a like, and that will mean we can make a lot more content like this. We have some exciting games coming up. We're not only going to be fishing. You'll also see games like Manor Lords on my channel. I've done a few series on that. We're actually in the middle of a series there, so Manor Lords is actually also pretty popular. Keep a lookout for that. And then we are also going to be playing in a few new game releases pretty soon, yeah? So yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, so I think we will meet you all at this location of the lobsters just there, and then we'll get to fishing once we arrive at our destination. Alright guys, so we are getting close. As you can see right here on our GPS, we've got about 2.8 nautical miles left to go, and we have a bunch of waves. It's quite a windy day. Wind is blowing at 21 knots, so as you can see we are getting bumped around by the waves a bit. Okay guys, so as you can see on the map over here, we have basically arrived where the lobster has been sighted. And also if you take a look at our sonar here at the bottom, you can see that there is a bunch of lobsters visible on the ocean floor. So I am slowly going to start setting up our lobster pots, and the way that I've found of doing this, which makes it a lot easier to handle, is just to go into your map and then let's zoom in a bit. If we go into the map here and we set a course to this direction, we'll fast travel that last bit, and then I'm gonna use the waypoint and maybe set it up to about right there, so it'll cross this lobster sighting perfectly. And then what I'll do is I'll set the autopilot to a bit of a slower speed, let's say about 8 knots, and now the autopilot will handle traveling in this straight line for us while we work in the back to set those lobster pots. Okay, so in first person view here you can stop driving. I actually forgot to sell this one wooden pot, but it's not a problem, we'll just use it for now, seeing that we have it. Let's grab some bait. And then you can go ahead and set the pot. And we'll go through all of them one by one, baiting the pot. And now you have to be about 100 meters away from your previous gear in order to set the new gear. So you'll see, I'm just going to keep my focus on the sorting table right there, and pretty soon you'll see now we're able to set the new pot. Now if you go back into third person view here, you'll see that we still have lobster visible on our sonar, and that is exactly what we want. We have now baited a pot. We can also do it from the outside, which is pretty handy. There you go. Okay, perfect. So I will just be setting up the rest of these lobster pots, and then after we have set all our lobster traps or pots out, I will get back with you guys. Alright guys, so that's going to be the last lobster pot that we're setting, and then we just have to wait. Okay, so all of those pots are in the water. We can go ahead and close the freezer, and then what we can do is go into the driver's seat here, and you'll see that this is actually your autopilot. This is where you can toggle it on or off, and this is where you can also set your speed. So let's go ahead and toggle that off, and now we are back in full control of our boat again. So by hitting X on your keyboard, that'll set your engine to idle. If you hit X a second time, that'll actually shut down the engine completely to save some fuel. So I think what I actually want to do is just to drive back to the front where we dropped off our first lobster pot, because this is where we're going to be starting to pick it up. You'll see that this one has been set for about 50 minutes. So let's go ahead and travel all the way back here again, and then as close to that pot as possible. We'll fast travel that to that location, and you'll see that it's now almost 8 o'clock at night, and I reckon the sun will be going down any minute now. One last time, let's just have a look. It's an hour and a half that the pot has been placed, so the best time to wait is 20 hours, and that's for almost all fish in the game. I've seen 20 hours is basically your standard waiting time. So now there's an easy way to skip that time. I'm going to show that to you now. If you sit in the driver's seat here and you focus on this clock, you can say anchor, and then you can choose the amount of time that you want to skip ahead. So seeing that we've waited for about an hour and a half now, we will need to skip about 18 hours ahead, and that gives us an estimated time of around 1 p.m. the following day. So we'll go ahead and skip. And now taking a look at our map again, you'll see that this pot has actually gone blue, and that's what they recommend. Blue is the best color for the best catch. So let's go ahead and collect that first lobster pot. You can actually see how all of them are starting to go from green to blue as the time progresses. So we just need to get close to this one, and then I'm going to hit X to idle my engine. And I believe I did that a bit too early. And there we go. I just want to make sure the engine is at idle, otherwise once we've finished sorting this first pot of lobsters, we will be all the way on the other side of our fishing area. So let's go ahead and haul this in. Okay, definitely too small. A little too small. That one's decent. Another good one. Okay, so you'll see with this first pot we weren't really in the sighted area yet, or the habitat or the migration path. I think we are with this first pot we actually caught some of the last lobsters in the migration, so the catch will definitely get better as we move forward a bit more to the north. Alright guys, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and collect the rest of these lobster pots, and then once we've collected all of them, then I'll catch up with you guys again and we will look at our total haul. At this stage we only have 65 kilograms of lobster in storage, so that isn't too good, but I believe that it'll start picking up. Like I said, once we get a bit more north in their migration path, we'll definitely get some bigger and some better hauls out of that. Alright guys, so we are coming up on our very last lobster pot right there, so we'll quickly haul that one in and then we can take a look at our total catch. Hey, well, I presume you can already see there in the bottom we are at almost 2 tons of lobster. Okay, so unfortunately I already have 12 small pots on the boat, which means that I won't be able to pick that one up because I actually forgot that one of our small wooden pots were not stored properly. It was still on the sorting table when we bought the rest of the steel pots, so that means we have to head back to the port first before we can collect this one, and we'll see where the closest port will be. Right there, so I'm not going to travel all the way back to the first port we were at. Just round this corner and then we'll head right here into this port. Alright, so we are just pulling up on this undiscovered location now, so we don't quite know what the port's name is yet, but we'll find out pretty soon. So I have also realized that it'll be much more practical that while you are picking up these lobster pots, you just reset them at basically the same time, and then you come in, you sell your catch, and you go out and you collect the pots that you just reset, and that'll be more productive. You'll definitely make a bit more money that way, but I don't want to keep you guys here for 2 hours. So I just wanted to head in and sell our first catch and we'll see what we make. I must say once again that the visuals are stunning in this game. I like all the detail. You see the slow, half and full on your throttle. Really not too bad. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun playing this game. So please remember, now that we've discovered Lockport. Maybe you just discovered my channel. Please remember to subscribe, like the video, share the video, and we'll see what else this game holds for us. And there we go. We can go ahead and dock. Fish on board. Would you like to sell your catch? Yes, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, 46 grand this time, almost 47. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and sell that. Usually when you catch lobsters that are undersized, you also get a fine, so it seems like we in fact did everything by the book this time. So let's go ahead into maintenance and we'll purchase some more fuel, repair all the damage. I like to do that every time when I'm docked. And we'll go back into, let's see, on the rigging side. Okay, this boat can only be rigged for lobster, so we'll see how quickly we can upgrade to another boat. Maybe in the next episode we'll get into some other types of fishing as well. We'll definitely not only stick with lobster. Let's go into the shipyard and see what's available. So yeah, Ocean Runner, you'll see there, that's quite a large amount of money, a lot of lobsters that have to be caught. But with this one you can do long line fishing, net fishing, crabbing and deep line. So this is a nice versatile little fishing boat, but there is definitely cheaper ones out there as well, so we won't let that bother us too much at this stage. What I want to do once again, I want to go into the boat's upgrades. Let's see, now we'll be able to afford a better searchlight. The buoys, we've already got the biggest one owned. The sonar, we have the biggest one owned. Autopilot, radar. So what we can do now is get ourselves a bit of a bigger engine. It's 150 extra horsepower, that's quite a lot. You see we have 46,000 available, but you need to, let's see, there, total is too much. What I'm gonna do is sorry guys for the confusion, I want to remove this searchlight from my basket, and then we'll be able to get that engine upgrade. Rather, that seems like a better investment to me. Okay guys, so welcome back. It is the next morning. I have skipped time to about 10 AM and we are heading back out now to go and collect that other lobster pot that we had to leave behind yesterday. So what I'll do in the meantime, I'll go and do a bit more lobster fishing and see if we can increase the cash in our bank so that we can invest that in a different vessel, and then I will catch you in the next episode. So that is going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you enjoy the content, please remember to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all the fishing happening on the No Yankee. And we'll also be playing some other beautiful games in the near future. So thank you for watching. Keep well. Cheers.